but as I looked out the window, I saw the psychopath was not only moving, but also standing up.
Oh no, you're not standing up anymore!
Hey, my name is Elodie, and believe me when I tell you I would do anything for my kids. I know all mothers say that, but I had a chance to prove it at 7-Eleven. It all happened one afternoon when I went with my kids to 7-Eleven. Their father abandoned us when I was pregnant with the twins, so I had to take them everywhere when my parents couldn't take care of them. That day, the boys had not gone to school because one of them was sick, and I suspected that the sister might get sick and infect her classmates. When we arrived at 7-Eleven, let's just say he didn't look sick anymore. Mom, I want ice cream.
Mom, if he eats ice cream, I want ice cream too!
It's not fair. I'm sick.
Liar, you're not sick. Look how well you are. Guys...
Mom, Claudette is bothering me. Tell her I'm sick.
Don't call me by my full name.
I'll call you whatever I want to, Claudette.
Guys! You're so mean.
I'm sick and you still yell at me?
Kids, stop it. As soon as we get out of here, I'll buy you ice cream, okay? But only if you behave yourselves. Okay, Mom.
Kids, am I right? When I turned around, a man was behind me. He had a generous face and a friendly smile. His eyes were wide open, and waiting for a response, he froze, staring at me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You scared me. Yes, they are terrible.
They're twins, aren't they? Hey, you should behave yourselves and not get Mom in trouble.
Yes, sir. They seem out of control, but they're very good children. Well, we should get going. A pleasure, sir.
My pleasure. Do you come here often?
Sometimes. Have a nice day.
Very uncomfortable, I left with my children from that section. That man was really awkward.
Didn't you like that man, Mom?
I think the man liked Mom.
No way. Don't talk with people like that. That man was a creep.
The next few minutes were normal. I didn't see the man anymore, and by the time I got to the checkout line, I had forgotten all about him. A few seconds after I arrived, the man stood behind me. Nice day, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
A little annoyed, I ignored him. You know, I'm new to the neighborhood and I really know few places to shop. I'm a very lonely man who can't have children, so it's a pleasure to see friendly people like you. My mom thinks you're a—
Alphonse! Ignore him, sir. He's just a boy. I hope you can adapt to the neighborhood as soon as possible.
I have to admit that his little speech gave me some pity, but I was still very uncomfortable with his presence. I wanted him to get away as soon as possible. No problem. I understand that children can behave very badly. Sometimes, don't you wish they were dead? Hearing those words, my blood ran cold. I turned around, furious.
What did you say?
Oh, calm down, dear. It was just a metaphor. No one would want these angels to die, right?
Sir, you are a sick man. Don't ever speak to me or my children again. Do you understand?
Of course. Still smiling, as if what I had to say had not affected him. I am sorry for having such a big imagination. I will not bother you anymore. Still furious, I was about to turn away, but something caught my attention, and I had to tell him.
Wait a minute. Is your little bag empty? You've been here for almost 20 minutes and you haven't bought anything? Besides, what are you doing in line? Are you following us?
At this point, I was already screaming. Not only did I not care if anyone heard us, but I wanted them to. Oh, I guess I didn't get anything, did I? That means I don't have to wait in line to leave. Have a nice day. And with that, he simply left. When I went to turn it off, the cashier offered me to go with someone from security, which I accepted, and a man escorted us to the car. When we arrived, the security man greeted us and I opened my car door. I knew nothing was wrong, that the man was gone, but I still felt very uncomfortable. I put all my shopping bags into my SUV, and before I left, my son asked me to close it.
Al, it's not a good time for this.
But you promised me, Mom. Please, let me close the back door.
You promised, Mom. Don't be a liar. Ugh. All right, but make it quick. I'll go start the engine.
Yay! While Al was closing the trunk, I was looking at ice cream shop locations on my cell phone with Claudette. I knew it wasn't the best time, but if I didn't do it now, she was going to yell at me while I was driving, and that was going to be a problem. Mom, are you going to get lemon ice cream?
Al? When did you get here?
Long ago. I just finished closing the door.
But honey, the trunk is still open.
What?
You didn't close it all the way and it opened. Let me close it.
After closing the trunk, I started the SUV and we left. We were going to go to an ice cream shop a few blocks away and order ice cream to eat at home, but something caught my attention.
Kids, what are you looking at back there?
Mom, there's something moving under the doggy padding.
Is it a rat?
What? Kids, get out of there!
Oh, I'm busted. Ah! I couldn't believe my eyes. The man from before with the maniacal, terrifying smile was in the car. My children tried to run away, but they were both wearing seatbelts.
What are you doing here? I'm calling the police. Get out of here now!
No, don't stop the car. The kids want to eat ice cream.
Leave him alone! He's just a kid.
I know, isn't that lovely? I love kids. I could never do anything bad to little Al. Please let me go. Hey, how about instead of eating ice cream, let's go straight home? I'd love to get to know them better.
Listen to me, you psycho. If you think I'm taking you to my house, you're too—
No! You listen to me! If you ever yell at me or disrespect me again, I will use this knife to open the child like a fish. Do you understand?
Please, don't do anything to him.
No, I wouldn't do anything to him. I'm sorry I got angry like that. What's your name?
Elodie.
Listen to me, Elodie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like your children. Not romantically, of course.
Mom, I'm scared.
Take it easy, Claudette. Everything will be all right.
Indeed. Look, I'm not gonna hurt you or your children. I just want you to give me little Al.
What?
Oh, come on. I've always wanted a child, and nobody wants to have one with me. They won't even let me adopt. You have two. You can give me one. I promise I'll take care of it.
I won't give you any of my children. Leave us alone or you'll pay.
What am I gonna pay for? How can you be so selfish? You know what? I warned you not to disrespect me. Now I'll be left with one child and you with none. Filled with rage, the psychopath lunged at Claudette. Terrified, I did the only thing I could do to save her. In the last few minutes, I had driven to a longer, uninhabited road, so I was able to increase the speed of the SUV. I did it so that at this moment, when everything came to its worst, I could do this. I had made it. My children were safe. But as I looked out the window, I saw the psychopath was not only moving, but also standing up.
Oh no, you're not standing up anymore.
Unable to control my anger, I ran over the man at full speed. After that, he didn't move anymore. Soon after, the police stopped me until they could figure out what was going on. Since this happened recently, I still don't know if I can go to jail for what happened, but I have no regrets. Shortly after, I found out that the man I hit had charges of sexual abuse. The police told me that there probably won't be any problems, but whatever the outcome, I'm happy to make this world a better place for my children.
Today was my first day as a salesperson in a 7-Eleven store located on the highway. It belonged to the gas station owner who started it on the same premise just a few weeks back. The owner was a friend of my uncle, which is why I got the job. I am a high school dropout, so there's no hope for me in high-paying corporate jobs until I finish school somehow. My parents are separated and busy in their own life, so I am a 17-year-old trying my best to act like a 27-year-old. When I woke up this morning, I said to myself, looking in the mirror, "You are a piece of shit, but you are not the only one in this world. If they can do it, so can you." This is how I motivate myself when I step out of my comfort zones. And today, at my first job, I felt something exactly like that. Being high and skipping classes were my talents so far. But now, I had to take charge of my life to survive in this cruel world. With lots of hope and fear, I got dressed and left for my shift. I took the 6 p.m. to 11 a.m. shift as I had no choice. I never dreamt of being Cinderella. Rather, I would prefer to be that shoe that changed her life forever. Anyways, back to the story. So I dressed up and rode to the 7-Eleven in my rusty old scooter. The location is too empty, as there's no other residence or store in that area. The owner showed me the store and demonstrated all the work that I need to do, like stacking up the soda machine, arranging the shelves properly, and checking on customers so that they don't steal things. There were security cameras scattered around the store, and a small monitor was placed on the counter right in front of me to watch over like a hawk. The job was simple. At least, that's what I thought. I immediately got to work as the owner sat at the cash counter, noticing my every move. I placed the new stocks on empty shelves, arranged the soda machine, and started mopping the floor. Around 8:30, I finally finished all the given tasks and walked up to the owner to get some tips on how to deal with the customers. He told me to be polite but also strict at the same time. Remember, if you see any funny business, tell the customers to leave right away. There's a licensed gun in the drawer. In case someone tries to steal or do anything threatening, take it out and scare them away with it. Don't worry, it has a safety catch, so there won't be any accidents. I have done this many times. Some people just don't understand good behavior. Even though each of his words were right, I prayed to God that I don't have to bring that gun out under any circumstances. I just wished for a trouble-free day. But to my luck, God must have been busy with household chores, hence, he failed to hear my prayer that night. Around 9 p.m., the owner left for his home, handing me the keys. He said the morning shift person will come at 11 a.m. Till then, I'm in charge here. I stood near the entrance and watched his car drive away and slowly fade into the darkness of the highway. I turned around and gazed at the empty 7-Eleven store. Okay, you can do this, Ella, I uttered to myself. I sat down at the counter and started to watch some funny videos on my phone. Until a customer comes in, this is all I have to do. The next 3 hours went without any trouble. When the clock struck 12, a groaning sound in my stomach reminded me that the last time I ate was at lunch. I brought a sandwich for myself, which I kept in the freezer at the back of the store. I got up to microwave it. As I placed the sandwich inside the microwave and started the timer, I heard the bell on the entrance ring twice. Thinking a customer must have entered the store, I said in a loud voice, "Welcome to 7-Eleven. I'll be right back with you. Feel free to look around." I must have taken a minute or two to get back to the counter. Once I reached near the counter and glanced at the entrance, my heart froze like an iceberg. Bloody footprints led inside the store from the entrance to the right corner shelves. My brain shut down for a moment and I couldn't speak. I slowly walked to the counter, placed my sandwich on the desk, and took out that gun from the drawer. I inserted it in my pocket and prepared myself to use it if the situation called for it. Silently, I tiptoed following the bloody footprints. The right corner shelves had toiletries like paper towels, toothbrushes, toothpastes, tampons, and of course, toilet paper. As I peeked in to see the intruder who had just entered this 7-Eleven, I got the shock of my life. A woman in her late 30s was standing near the stacked toilet paper. There was blood all over her dress and face as if she bathed in it. She was tearing up a roll and using the toilet paper to wipe the blood off. I gasped in fear and our eyes met. I didn't do anything. It's my husband. I need your help. Please help me. What happened to you? My husband and I were driving down the highway. We got hit by this truck. He's in the car outside. Please help. I ran outside and saw a blue car sitting on the roadside. Its bonnet was destroyed. Smoke was coming out of it, and the alarm was going off like crazy. The woman came out as well, and together we pulled out the man whose head was badly injured. We dragged him inside the store and laid him down on the floor, supporting his back on the counter. His blood got smeared on my hands, and the metallic smell started to choke me. I somehow got my shit together and said, I'll call the cops. You wait here. No, the cops will put us in prison. See, I don't have a license. I was just driving for fun while my husband was right next to me. I had no idea things would get out of hand. And when the truck came, those bright lights, oh my God. Okay, ma'am, you need to calm down. There's a washroom at the backside. Please go there. I need to call an ambulance. We have to take your husband to the hospital. Okay, but please don't call the cops. We will be in huge trouble. Fine. Let's take him to the hospital first. The woman went to the washroom and I took out my phone to call the paramedics. I was sitting beside her injured husband, who was unconscious for all this time. I was one tap away to dial the paramedics when suddenly the man grabbed my hand tightly and said, Call the cops. She's not my wife. She is crazy. Please don't trust her. What? What do you mean? She is a psycho woman stalking me for months. Today, she forced me to get in the car with her by threatening me with a knife. Things got out of control as I tried to jump out of the car. You got to call the cops. She's dangerous. Drops of sweat appeared on my forehead as I couldn't believe what this man was saying. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice behind me and turned around. Honey, you shouldn't be speaking now. This kind woman is going to call the paramedics and we'll be just fine. There's no need to call the cops, right? Right? Is this true? Whatever he's saying? Is that true? Come on, he's just mad at me. Couples fight. There's nothing weird with that. No, she's lying. She's not my wife. Please call the cops. A huge, sinister smile appeared on the woman's face and she said in a squeaky, creepy voice, She won't call the cops. She promised me, didn't you? And took out her knife. The shining steel was so sharp that I knew one stab would make my entrails gush out like fruit pulp. I decided to manage the situation more sensibly. Look, there's still time. You don't need to do this, okay? Both of you are hurt. So just let me call the cops and paramedics. You need help as fast as possible. You won't call the cops! Saying this, the woman lunged at me with the knife and I took out the gun from my pocket in self-defense. I didn't want to shoot her, but as she stabbed me in the shoulder deep, I kicked her in the stomach, making her fall hard on the floor. I pointed the gun at her and said, There's still time. Just stop and let me call the cops. Are you going to shoot me? Stop right there, or I will. You won't shoot me. You're a kind person. Just let me take my man and walk away. This is none of your business, you know. Don't talk like this man is a freaking trophy. You bitch! She came at me once again, and I removed the safety catch and fired into her left knee. Blood splashed like a fountain, and accompanying the sound of a gunshot, a spine-chilling scream took place. She collapsed on the floor in pain, and I finally called the cops. The cops came and took both of them to the nearby hospital. The woman was put in jail and charged with abduction and attempted murder. I wasn't charged as I shot in self-defense. I am still working here. A few weeks after the incident, the man came to visit me with flowers and gifts as a token of gratitude for saving his life. While leaving, he said to me, Thank you for believing me that day. Our societal norms need a lot of alteration because a man can also be a victim in the hands of a woman. But sometimes, some people find it hard to believe.